Hello, beautiful soul. This is Yami, and you are watching Alchemistic Healing. So today I wanted to share a Latin phrase with you, which is memento mori. Memento mori was a phrase used by the Stoics. It was used in order to remind them and remind others to treat each day as a gift. And memento mori, of course, means remember you must die. So the reason I bring this up is because during my meditation, I had several things come in. So one of the things was obviously the thought of death and dying and what's happening in our communities and in our countries and in the world at large with this pandemic. But also here, because I live in California, there are many fires burning right now. And, with that is also the idea of death and the idea of clearing and the idea of burning things down. So touching upon the fire, because I also drew a card this week, and there was kind of like this lightning, like a strike of lightning, like a lightning bolt, like in the middle, and then there was like a spark of flame, and there's also the image of either cobra or a venomous snake. And so to me, when I was meditating on the image and the idea of death and everything, what came to me was, how can we provide the antidote, right? So what are we doing in our everyday lives, knowing that we will die, right? What are we doing with each day, right? And it spoke about the medicine, right? As I sat there, the medicine, and then that tied into the image of the cobra with there being electricity, like the striking down of, and the cobra, is associated with change, enchantment, and wisdom. So with all that tied in, right, the electricity and, the wisdom, and I feel like with the fires burning, people, there's always an aspect of fear that accompanies the fires, right? But right now here, as I sit here, I have the sun facing me, right? And in the sky, it just looks like a big burning round ember, like it's really bright, but you've got it in this smoke-filled sky. And it's still just very beautiful, but kind of very ominous at the same time. And, just reminding me that, there are these fires happening right now. But for me, obviously, the fires are very symbolic of the clearing. And yes, there is fear. And yes, there is change that is brought about by the fires, but this is intentional. That is what a fire does, right? It clears the path, it clears the ground, it burns things away, and it allows for renewal, right? Regeneration, regrowth. It allows for something new to grow where it wasn't once. So, maybe sit with that for this next week. And also, aside from that meditation, I want to go into what the other message I had received here. But again, it all has to do with our days, right? It all has to do with how we're treating our days. And this has been big. If you've been watching my videos, kind of like the things we do and the things we speak of, right? So I'll just read it here because kind of trying to keep this video short. And if you guys are interested, please subscribe and share. I am almost at 200 viewers, subscribers, so that's awesome. And I do want to get your requests on maybe a following video, or if you'd like me to go deeper on some of what I'm sharing today, just leave a comment below, okay? So it says, your thoughts, your views, and your inner landscape dictate your reality. Some of us might be familiar with this idea. But for me, it has been like a growing into to really understand, how my voice, how my thoughts, really do that in the world. And I didn't always think this way, like when I was younger, I was very careless with the things I did and said, this was just how I lived. that's far removed from where I am now. So one of the questions that was posed is, how do we fight for what we believe in? Like, how do we do that really, right? What does that look like? And that's going to be different for everyone, right? But to sit with that, what does it look like, right? How do we fight for what we believe in? And what does that really look like? What we really believe in, right? Whether it's something personal and dear to us, whether it's what we want to see reflected in the world, etc. So for me, my own personal example is that each day and each encounter, and sometimes it's not easy, I try to very much stay observant of how I speak to others, and what my energy is like around them, because I want my mere presence to have intent, for there to be an intention behind it, and for there to be an energy behind it. I mean, I already know what my true essence is, so I already know what I bring, but I could use that in a different way, but to me, I choose to use that as medicine, right? So like when you're around me and I share certain words with you, or a certain look or a smile, that is me directing that medicine to you. When I use the word medicine, it could be energy, it could be healing, it can be love, however you choose to see that. But to me, I choose to see my actions and what I do every day as an opportunity to be medicine for others and medicine in the world and to the world. So that's when I was, thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God, that totally ties into being the antidote, right, to what's happening right now. So the message that was given to us, obviously, is that the medicine is within us and we can share it, right? We can share it with our presence, with how we walk into a room, in how we look at another person, both with our inner sight and with our eyes. We can share that healing medicine, with our words, like I said, with our energy, 100%, and no, you don't have to, do anything special, to do this. We all have the ability to do that. And we all have the ability to see clearly, and to understand where we're coming from when we're doing something, right? If we really sit with it. And the last message, obviously, that came in, and it's not to get into politics, because that's not what I do on my channel. But there was, the metaphor or the call to with this current election, or just again in your everyday life, to be, to have it be your own personal choice, of course, but to search your heart and your soul, and to kind of allow your vote, or allow your voice, or allow your whole body, if you're showing up and protesting, or you're showing up and being part of large demonstrations. Allow yourself to be that medicine, to be that medicine for this country, to be that medicine in your own home, to be that medicine in your neighborhood, at your place of work, to be that, because right now we really need it. This is what is being called forth with everything that's happening, as effed up as it may seem, this is what it's looking like. And so one of my desires, and I know a lot of us light workers, whatever you want to call yourself, I'm not perfect. I will say that over and over again. I come here and I know I have a mission. I know I have a calling. So I follow that. But I'm very much human. But I have desires that go beyond my humanness, beyond just me. So may we all come together and see that all the fights throughout history, and of this land and in this land, and even, around the world, have been for or towards the protection of human rights, the protection of land, the protection of our Mother Earth, of its creatures, the protection of anything that's living, basically, that, someone else deemed theirs or theirs to own, etc. And of basic human rights and needs. The power that we have to survive. Let's all, keep that in mind, that we have survived, horrible things throughout time, diseases, plagues, wars, famine, etc. That we must act as protectors of the future of this country, of our communities, of our world, of the human race, and that we can aid in helping to purify, right? To cleanse ourselves, to cleanse our environment of the things that are toxic or harmful to us, to others, to animals, and to our planet. So how will we move forward to create this extraordinary healing? That's what I'm going to leave you with. May we all be working towards that healing. I love you all so very, 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 very much. I think of all of you every day. If you are feeling alone in, the work that you're doing in the fight and the struggle, please don't. You are not. I know I feel like that sometimes as well because of this ebb and flow, especially during this pandemic, that we all kind of go through, where one moment you feel invincible and backed by, whatever glorious divine army, as well as your brothers and sisters here. And then another will feel low and hopeless and, like nothing matters. Please reach out. My email, I think, is in my contact info. If not, I will update it. I love you all. Take care of yourselves, drink plenty of water, do the things that help you high vibe. I love you all. Until next time, this is Yami. Take care of yourselves. Love and light. Bye-bye.